Hi everyone, I'm Catherine. I'm an online TEFL teacher and welcome to today's itoI webinar. Thank you all for joining. So if you want to put in the comments where you are all from, and then we can give everyone a shout out and see where everybody's watching from, that'd be great. And if you can just let me know that you can hear me okay and that you can see me okay, that's great. And then if there's anything I need to change quickly at the start, then just let me know. But yeah, if you all welcome to the TEFL itoiTEFL webinar. Thank you all for joining. So we'll wait for a few people to get on and then we will get started. So just put a comment in the comment section and let me know where you're watching from because that'd be great and we can say hi. And yeah, just let me know if the sound's okay and if you can all hear and see me okay and the lighting's okay. Because having problems with the sun today. The sun's in and out, so it keeps getting bright and things. So if there's any problems, just let me know. Wow, Johannesburg, great. South Africa. Oh, loads of people in Johannesburg and South Africa, Cape Town. Oh, that's great. That's really interesting. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. So I'm in Manchester, which is actually sunny today, which makes a nice change because normally it's raining. And I think we're supposed to have a nice weekend of some sun. So hopefully we can go to the park or something, which would be nice. Okay, so we'll just wait for another minute or two for everybody to join on and then we will get started. So I'll say thank you very much for joining this itoI webinar, and today we're going to cover a few things, so sort of all about my TEFL experiences so far. So we're going to cover getting TEFL qualified, so go through how I did that. We'll go through volunteer teaching, which I think is amazing, like really good opportunity, so we'll cover that. We'll cover teaching abroad, teaching online, which is my main job at the moment now, so that's what I've been doing since March full time, and also just future plans. And then what we'll do is do a Q&A after each section, so if there's any questions, if you drop them in the comments and then we'll answer them after each section. So yeah, just drop a message if you know anything you want to know. That's great. And I know the itoI TEFL team are on hand as well, so they'll be sharing links and information as well. So if there's anything that you need or anything that's not covered in the webinar, you can check out itoi's Facebook and website. I've also got my own Instagram and website, so you can check out there for more information. So my Instagram is at catherines.esl online, and my website is just catherinekilbane.co.uk. So yeah, check that out. But as I say, there's loads of information on itoi's website and Facebook page as well. So if there's anything missing or anything that we don't cover today, check them out because there's loads of information on there. Okay, so yeah, we'll get started, I think. So thank you all for joining. So yeah, as I say, today we're going to cover about 5 different things, so 5 different topics. So doing get TEFL qualified, volunteer teaching, teaching online, teaching abroad, and future plans. And then we'll do a Q&A after each section. So yeah, if there's any questions, just drop them in the comments and we'll answer them when we can. So that'd be great. Okay, so getting TEFL qualified. So last year I was I've been working in accounts, so I come from an accounts and supply chain background, and I was thinking I need to switch this up. It's not what I want to be doing, so I wanted to do teaching and I love travel. So I was like, right, how can I combine these two? Started looking at TEFL jobs so I could travel and teach wherever I am in the world. So looked online, a few different websites and found itoI. So their website's really helpful, loads of information on there. So I was looking online at the different options that itoI offer. The main ones, the level 3 and the level 5 packages. And I was sort of looking at what each package offers. And because I don't have a degree, I chose the level 5. So I did level 5, 200 hours. And that includes 2 days spent in a classroom environment, which I would really recommend. So level 3 is probably I think is equivalent to an A-level qualification. And level 5 is equivalent to a diploma level. So with me not having a degree, it was definitely, that's why I sort of went for the higher level one. And I also wanted to make sure, because I have no teaching experience, that I went and included the 2 days working in a classroom, getting the classroom experience. So I started that in June last year and I completed the course in November. So it took me like 5 months, but I was working full time as well. So obviously if you're part time or you're not working, you complete it a lot quicker. But I completed the course sort of evenings and weekends and did the full weekend. I think maybe maybe September time. I think I did my weekend 2 days in Manchester, which was the in-class experience, in-class training. So with the 200 hours, obviously 180 hours is online, and then you've got the 20 hours in the classroom. So the online course, really easy to access the information, really helpful. The course content is really extensive. It's really great content. So the course covers grammar, how to teach online, also teaching in person, covers lesson planning, how to plan and teach lessons, and also like importantly at the end and for me, so where to look for work once you've finished teaching and once you finish your qualification. So I would say it's definitely really good course for me. And then the 2 days in the classroom, that was like I think that's for anybody if you're new to teaching is definitely worthwhile sort of signing up for and doing. Plenty of reasons. I think it's and you can't put a price on that experience. You get to meet a load of people, you meet a great community. It's experience of putting your lesson planning together. So what you're learning within the course, putting that into action to actually do a lesson plan, and then actually teaching it as well to a group of people. So, for someone like me who's brand new to teaching, getting up in front of a room of people and teaching like material. So it's really good just sort of to get that first lesson sort of like sort of done and dusted, and getting feedback, and then you've got everybody there helping, and everyone, like a lot of people are in the same boat. So I think really good experience, and also you get to meet like loads of great people. I've made some really good friends from there, and it's great to have such a good support network. You can help each other out, if you're going through the same things, or if you've got any teaching queries, you can sort of share material, share your knowledge, and it's a really great community to get involved with. So I say check out itoi's website for more information, on all the courses and different prices, because that's what I wanted to check, like how much is it going to cost, how long is it going to take, is it the right course for me? So like the level 5 was perfect for my needs, but you guys, you might only need like the level 3, or it depends. So there's I think the level 3 minimum is 120 hours and the level 5 minimum is 180, but that goes all the way up to 320 hours. So you can do like an even higher level and get even more experience. And I think that includes business teaching as well. So that's definitely worth having a look at. So yeah, has anybody got any questions on sort of getting TEFL qualified? Sort of covered a bit of ground there, and there'll be obviously a lot more to come, but just sort of on the getting qualified, or has anybody got questions about the course like directly or anything like that? Interesting. You've got any questions on, just so you can drop them in and say, and if we sort of moved on and have come to it late, I can either answer it later or one of the I2I guys will jump on and answer as well for me. Okay, so we'll move on to the next topic. So next bit is volunteer teaching. So I think this is a really, amazing experience, and I'm really passionate about, like, it's something I'm really passionate about. So once I got my qualification, I was still in full-time work. So I was trying to find somewhere that I could get experience while still being in a full-time job. And obviously, wanting to help people. And it's great to volunteer because you're helping people that might ordinarily not be able to like afford lessons. So it's great to sort of help people like around the world. So I currently work for a charity called Paper Aeroplanes, and they're an American company, but they actually deal with students mainly from Syria and across the MENA region. So it's an amazing charity. They do loads of really good, help loads of people. A really good charity, and I found them through Love TEFL jobs. So that's itoi's sister site. So definitely check out Love TEFL jobs because there's loads of work on there. So whether you've got a degree or not, you can filter and sort your job search by that. So when I was on looking for work, sort of use that, and it's great because you can just filter like no degree, and then it gives you loads of all the jobs options, which is great. So I've been with Paper Airplanes since January. The sort of application process was it was pretty simple, to be honest. Just applied through Love TEFL jobs, and then Paper Airplanes got in touch. We did like a video call, and yeah, load, and then just sort of went from there. To be honest, it was really simple onboarding process, and they provide all the lesson material. So the lesson content is they sort of work to school times, so they follow term time. So at the minute we're sort of on sort of summer break, and we'll start again in September. So that'll be starting my 4th term with them. And you have one lesson a week, so it's one-to-one lessons, and they match you, so you can sort of say your likes, dislikes, availability, that kind of thing. And then they'll pair you up with a student accordingly. And so you get sort of given all like the background on the student. You get a lot of training when you start, which is really, really helpful. Obviously, students in Syria are going through a lot of things. There's a lot going on over there. So you do get full comprehensive training on like the region, the different countries. There's lots going on. So it's really, you do get full training, and there's lots of options for further training. Sort of they provide webinars with like Amnesty International. You can do a lot of free training, free webinars through there, just to sort of build your knowledge on the region and what's happening over there. So that's really good. Oh, hi guys. I think we've maybe had a delay on the comments because they're all just some more coming through now. So I can sort of see all the comments now. So sorry about that. I've not said hi. I'm sure I saw someone from Japan, but seem to be dropping off. We've got some UK people. So hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Sorry, I think might have been a bit of a technical delay there. But yeah, anyway, so I hope you're all okay, and hope you can all hear me okay. So yeah, so with Paper Airplanes, they give loads of training, a really great community. The teachers are really they get back to you really quickly. They're really supportive. And we also have like a WhatsApp group. So if we've got any questions, whether it's teaching or about the students or anything like that, the teachers are always on hand, and we've got like great community sort of just to help each other out, share materials, share resources, share experiences. And we've also got like the lessons. So say it's one-to-one lesson, each week. Lessons about an hour to an hour and a half, so it depends. And there's also options to do like conversation classes with students, and just sort of host like little group exercises as well if you want. So you can also host that separately, and that's just a bit more just general conversation rather than a structure. And Paper Airplanes, they provide all the lesson material for each term. The lessons are all given to you in advance. It's all through sort of Google Drive, so it's a really easy platform. All the information's there. Oh, Preston, hi. In California. Wow, very good. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. And so, yeah, Paper Airplanes bring all the, give you all the material, and it's even though it's sort of structured and they follow week by week lessons, there is quite a lot of flexibility as well. So, for example, like with the student that I have, is sort of in between levels. So we sort of jump in between upper and lower intermediate sometimes, just about depending on like the lesson topic. Sometimes he gets overwhelmed. People can get overwhelmed if there's like too much text in a lesson. They'd rather just do sort of talking and vocab. But the lesson content is it's really good content, because they sort of cover things that are relevant to the students. So they cover, culture things, things in the workplace, at home, medical, things that are important that a student would need, they'll need to speak English in. And the students there, a lot of them, they want to either learn English or improve, because a lot of them have a base level of English. So they want to learn for, for school, to improve their education, or for work, they want to get a better job. So it's really great to see like week on week their improvements, and the students really appreciate sort of the work and effort that you put in. So that's really good. And yeah, so I'd say I'll be starting my 4th term with them, and I think it's a really good way to build up your experience if you're brand new to teaching, but also just to help people out that probably can't afford to get pay for English lessons on some of the other platforms that are out there. So I definitely think worthwhile. And also, actually, I was about to start teaching classes to a charity based in Manchester. So that's another refugee charity. So it's Manchester Support Network, and that's dealing with refugees as well. And we had all the lessons planned out. They'd given me material there as well, but a bit more flexibility sort of around there about what we could cover, and it was sort of up to me with what we'd like to do. with the lessons. So yeah, we started up with them, got marketing, people wanting to, they'd signed on, they were all excited to start, and then COVID happened, and literally the week of the first lesson, everything closed. So unfortunately, I had to cancel before we'd even set off. So yeah, really disappointed about that. But hopefully, sort of later in the year, probably next year, realistically, we can get that back up and running, because I know there was a lot of interested people that wanted to, get involved. And again, sort of the lesson content was very relevant to their direct needs. So sort of shopping, things around the house, medical, like work, that kind of thing. So stuff that's really useful, just sort of for the day-to-day lives. Just have a look at some of the questions, because there's a lot I can see dropping in. Let's have a look. Oh, how do I? Okay. So finance. Oh, sorry. Did you work for a charity organisation to gain online teaching? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'd already completed my TEFL in November, and I started with paper airplanes in January. But I was just, because I was still in full-time work, I was sort of wanting to get a bit of experience teaching online, and I thought it's a great way to help people and get experience for me as well. So it's definitely a great way to start off, your TEFL, online teaching career. Is look for charities. I just emailed a few charities as well. That's how I came to MRSN. Just look online, or if you know any local places, and just send out an email, give them a call. Obviously, it's probably quite hard right now, because of COVID, and I know Manchester's gone into sort of a bit of they've put some more restrictions in place, so it depends where you are, but definitely have a look online, and you could always get something set up for maybe in January, when hopefully things are a bit gone back to normal. Let's have a look. Do you require continuing education credits? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. You might, Millie, you might have to ask itoI Direct. I'm not sure about that one. Sorry. Schools give you the teaching material. So yeah, so the online, so paper airplanes, they provide all the course content. It's really extensive. They do really good layout. So they give you sort of the full lesson plan, and they also provide like extra materials and follow-up things. So if you need sort of extra help within the lesson, extra materials for the students, they give you full support. And with MRSN as well, they also provided sort of a base lesson structure, sort of some topic ideas, but you were pretty free to like run the lessons how you like, because it was a new setup for them. They were sort of quite happy for sort of me to manage it however I liked. How much is a TEFL certificate? Different prices online depending on which course you want to do. And I know that itoI've got some offers on at the moment. So just if you check out the website, I know they've got a lot of deals on. And as I say, it depends if you want like level 3 or level 5, and if you want 200 or 320 hours. So if you check out the itoI's website, they'll have all the information on there. Can you look? I'm studying now and feel quite nervous. Can you look back through your coursework during your final test? So it's yeah, definitely, and it's not sort of a test. It's so there's a few exams throughout the course, and basically you just put in everything together that you've learned. So it's a lesson plan. Each exam is a lesson plan, but it's a lesson plan for different things. So they might have a vocab lesson plan or a grammar. They'll tell you what the lesson plan is and who the target is. So you might be teaching like 10 children who have all got a different level, or you're teaching 20 adults who are like 18 to 40, but they're all the similar level. So they give you sort of all the information, and then you just plan your lesson accordingly. So it's just making sure that you include everything that that you've been learning throughout the course and put that into your lesson plan, and then yeah, you're sorted. So you can definitely look back and use all your notes, and there's loads of resources. They give you loads of information, and when you finish the course as well, there's also you can buy a TEFL guidebook. So that's got loads of information and covers a lot of the things that we've learned throughout the course. So that's really helpful backup as well. Let's have a look. Where do I find the sister companies like itoI? Okay, so where do I find the sister companies of itoI, like paper airplanes, that allow volunteer teaching? Okay, so if you search Love TEFL Jobs, so that's the itoI sister site, so Love TEFL Jobs, and they have lots of jobs on there. So they have jobs around the world for people with degrees. You can filter if you don't have a degree. So there's lots of options, and that's how I found paper airplanes. So I just sort of went on, searched like everywhere in the world, put no degree, and that's where paper airplanes came up, and then just applied. And yeah, sort of still with them like 8 months later, and it's a really great experience. So definitely have a look online, check Love TEFL jobs, and also itoi's website. They also have I think they've got a page with like 30 plus jobs on there where you don't need a degree. That's really great resource as well. So I've definitely been scouring that a lot of the time as well. So lots of options on there. Let's have a look. I've got some more questions. God, there's loads of comments, guys. Thank you very much. If I sign up for say 130 hours, can you change it to 500 hours at a later stage? I'm not sure if there's 500 hours. There's definitely 320. But yeah, I think you can definitely add on. I know people that have added on, so I'm sure if you speak to the guys at itoI, they'll definitely be able to add that on for you. I'm sure that's definitely an option. Let's have a look. Have a look at some more questions. I would like to know the experience of the course when you studied. Did you find it easy or difficult? So, to be honest, it will a lot of it is not difficult. It's just making sure that it's like a lot of the techniques are correct and how to teach information, that kind of thing. It's not like the actual content itself is not difficult. It's just making sure that you're following the right procedures, using the correct terminology, doing things in a certain way. So with lesson planning, it's making sure that you've got your outcomes and you've got your introduction, you've got what your main target is, you've got your concept checking questions or how you're going to lay out the lesson plan, that kind of thing. So it's not difficult at all. It's just making sure you put the hours in and all the resources are there. So yeah, it's a really good course, and there's loads of information and there's loads of takeaway resources as well. They give you a load of there's loads of like websites at the end that you can use and save there's information on like jobs and where to look, lots of online resources. Let's do one or two more and then we'll look onto the next one. I applied to a few schools that did not require a degree, sent my CV with an intro video and my TEFL certificate. Is there maybe a preferred job site I should use? Clinton. To be honest, there's loads of websites that you can sort of apply for online for like TEFL jobs. So there's itoi's site, Love TEFL jobs, and then there's lots of like other TEFL job sites out there. There's Facebook. There's so many groups on Facebook where the jobs are being advertised. And just Google as well, to be honest. There's you can just search and there's lots of different platforms out there where you can apply. I think that's a great idea what sending information over. So that's what I've done for a few companies that I've applied for. So like sending your TEFL certificate, your CV, and like a covering letter. So just making sure that your cover letter is relevant to the job that you're applying for, and you're covering all your experience and why you want to work for that particular company. So yeah, it just depends on each job, and some jobs will want more information for you when you apply. Some will have an application process. Some just want to see your information, and then they'll sort of arrange a video call. A lot of companies I've had, once you send them your details, they then arrange a video call, and then they sort of go through that, like your CV and your experience more. So they do want to see your sort of CV and TEFL certificate, but they want to meet you as a person and find out what you're like. So yeah, it just depends on each company, to be honest. Okay, so let's have a look at the next bit. Okay, so now we're going to talk about teaching abroad. So if I don't know if any of you know my story, so I was supposed to be going to China in March, and then obviously COVID happened, so that's why all my teaching is online. So basically, once I got my TEFL qualification in November, I was looking online for jobs because I wanted to get my qualification and then teach in a classroom for a year. So I was sort of looking sort of Asia, Europe, sort of anywhere around the world, to be honest. So I could get I wanted a year's experience teaching online, and then when I came back to the UK, or if we were abroad somewhere traveling, then I could teach online and have all that set up and have a year's worth of experience behind me. Anyway, so then managed to get this job in China, which was amazing. Like I was super excited. So sorted out all the paperwork, booked all the flights, got everything sorted out, and then so I was due to fly out at the beginning of March, and then obviously in February, sort of COVID escalated and everything got worse, and then everything got cancelled. So that's why now I'm teaching it online. And so since March, I've been pretty much full-time teaching online. And so with paper airplane since January, and then teaching online on some other platforms since March. And I'd sort of been having a look at some other options when I wasn't sure if China was going to go ahead or not. I sort of started having a look at some other options for where I could teach online and what I could, sort of where I can teach, what options are available, what platforms do I want to teach, who do I want to teach, where do I want to teach, all that kind of thing. Because obviously traveling then was sort of off the record, that was off on hold for sort of, well, still on hold at the moment. So I think, so I'd already had a bit of a look, and that's when sort of started teaching online, and that's when I started with Palfish. So I know Palfish is, I think it's quite well known, and it takes on a lot of native teachers, and you don't need a degree, so it's a really good platform if you don't have a degree, and you just need a TEFL certificate. So I would say, so you just need a TEFL certificate and to be a native English speaker. I know the onboarding process has changed since I started, but when I started in March, I had a mentor to help me, and that was like really helpful. So just help me through each stage of the onboarding, sort of your video, what to write in your sort of bio on the platform. And Palfish, basically, if you don't know, so it teaches children in China aged 3 to 12 via an app, and so the lessons are 1-to-1 and 25 minutes long, and the material is all provided, so there's no prep work at all. All you need to do is just make sure that you know the lesson content. Obviously, when you're new, you have to prep all the trials and make sure that you know the trials, so that you know what you're teaching, you're comfortable. There's lots of props, TPR, it's high energy. A lot of the children I've had are all very young, sort of like 3 to 6. I've only had a couple sort of that are over 10. So they're all sort of high energy. You've got to keep them involved, keep them sort of excited and enjoying the lesson, keep them engaged. And you can see this is like my Palfish area, where I have all my pictures and animals and have some cuddly toys somewhere. I have a lot of pandas. So if you don't know me, then basically I love pandas, so I have panda stuff everywhere. So I always have like pandas in class, sort of gets the kids, sort of they like that, they get involved. And with Palfish, so you don't need a degree. You can choose the hours that you want to teach, so it's really flexible. You can sort of open your own schedule. You're in charge of your own schedule, and also the more you work, the more you get paid. So basically, you start off at like level 1, but you can work up to level 5. So if you're getting lessons all day, every day, you can make a really good living out of Palfish. You get lots of like bonuses, So it's a really good platform, and they provide, they provide all the material, and you sort of teaching the slides. So you just have to prep the slides and make sure that you're happy and aware with what's going on, what you're teaching in that class. It is a good platform. High energy. So if you want to teach kids, it's a great platform to get on. Really flexible. So so I'm just having a look at some of the questions before I carry on, because there's a lot of them. Let's have a look. I think I need to make this bigger, but I'm not quite sure how. So let's just have a bit of a scroll. How much advantage is the 300-hour course over the 120-hour? Probably, I think a lot more experience. I think it covers more business as well. I think it covers a lot more business English, as well as everything that the sort of 120 and 200-hour covers. But as I say, there's more information on the TEFL site for that. I did the 200 hours, which I think is really good for level 5. Say it's diploma level, so it gives you a really good base. If you don't have a degree or you're new to teaching, it gives you like full, you get all the information. So I think it's a really good starting point. Let's just have a look. Okay, so another platform that I work with. So Palfish is one of the sites I work with, and then I also work with a new company called Oxfinity. So I just started with them in June, and they are based in Spain, and they're online now. But basically, they started off as teaching people in person. So they did classes in cafes, in like restaurants, in schools, in offices. They were more in-person classes, sort of all around Spain. It's sort of a lot more sort of casual learning, like a lot more relaxed environment. But obviously, due to COVID, they've moved online, so they're now expanding their online platform. And they're really good. Like that's a really good platform to work with. I really enjoy working with them. It's a really good community. So it's all online. They provide all the lesson material, and that's teaching everybody. So it's basically teaching children, teens, and adults. So you can specify whether you want to only teach kids, if you only want to teach adults. You know, if you've got a preference. And again, you can choose when you want to work. You can choose your own schedule. So if if you're teaching on another platform, then you can just say, oh, I'm only available like 2 days a week or whatever. So there's loads of opportunities with them. And they provide the lesson material. Lessons are 30 minutes or an hour. Sometimes they offer 90 minutes, but I think that's quite rare because obviously it's quite intense 90-minute lesson. And they also, it's a really good like teacher community. So they provide, they do the lesson content, but we can also share, like we can also input on that lesson content as well. So the teachers have the opportunity to improve lessons. We can make the lessons ourselves as well. You know, so they do like engage the teachers to get the teachers to do lesson plans as well. And they do a lot of like current topics, which is really great. So you start teaching students about relevant things going on. So I think the other day they did like about coronavirus, they did about the spaceship launch. So there's lots of things that are really relevant, and it keeps it like the language really fresh, which is really good. Oxfinity, yeah. Joe Peel, yeah, that's correct, yeah. So I think they're on sort of summer break at the moment and then picking up again in September. They say they provide lots of training, lots of webinars, and it's really helpful. Good online support and community. Is it easier teaching adults or children, and why, Lauren? I think it's probably definitely easier to teach adults because they want to be learning English, whereas sometimes the children, like it's the parents that want them to learn. They haven't necessarily chose. Like the teens, teaching teens is fine. Like they're basically the same as adults. It's just the content might be a bit different. But yeah, teaching adults is definitely easier. And they're following the teacher more, and they obviously know when to respond. Whereas sometimes with the children, they sort of just jump in whenever. So, and especially if there's a group, you've got to be able to manage. So the other day I had like 3 children in a class, and because the children are in different levels, and it's a bit sort of jumping in and out. And one of the girls was really confident, and one was a bit shy. And you get people taking over. So it's just making sure that you manage the children and that they're each getting an equal opportunity to talk and learn, and getting them all involved without someone sort of taking over. So yeah, I'd definitely say adults is easier, but kids is really fun, and it's great. Like some of them are like, they're so cute, and they really appreciate like when you're like, oh, well done, and they love it, and they love to get involved. And the shy kids, you know, just because they're shy, it doesn't mean they don't want to learn. Like one of the girls I had the other day, she really wants to learn, but she's just really shy. But as soon as you say, like, ask her, oh, like, do you want to read that? She's like, yeah. And then when she gets a question right, I'm like, oh, well done. And she's like really happy. So you just have to make sure that you give them all equal amount of time to get involved, and that they're all getting equal time learning. That is what I'd say. Let's have a look at the questions. The average hourly rate for teaching online, it varies. It really varies. I can't really say. I can't give you a definite number. It's sort of, it just varies from place to place at the minute, and there's a lot of demand, so I think prices are probably coming down a bit because there's just so much demand at the minute. So it just depends on the platform, who and where you're teaching, and obviously your experience as well. So like I'm quite new, so like I'm probably like on the lower end, whereas someone who's got 20 years teaching experience, they're going to be on the higher end. So there's a lot of variables, to be honest. Is there any TEFL opportunities in the Netherlands? I'm sure there are. But yeah, you'd have to, have a look online and check it out. If there's any country in particular that people want to teach, just have a look on like Love TEFL Jobs or Google, and just have a look. There's jobs in like so many countries. I think last year, and I had an interview for a company in Mongolia, which that would have been amazing. But I think the cold is like extreme, so I'm not sure if I would have coped with that. But that would have been like an amazing experience as well. And when I sort of looked, there's actually quite a lot of expats in Mongolia, which is quite surprising, but they all seem to really enjoy it. But yeah, I think there's probably TEFL opportunities in most countries. You just sort of need to have a look and check it out and speak to people. If you know people, or just get your name out there, then yeah, just have a look and see. There's definitely opportunities everywhere. Um, my biggest concern is going through the course and trouble and not being able to land an online job. How can I guarantee that? There's so many jobs out there, Wilco. Honestly, there's so many jobs. There's so many different platforms. It's like I've got, I'm on a couple of different platforms. Plus, I've also got my own website, which I'll talk about in a moment. There's so many positions out there. There's so many platforms. You've got the Love TEFL job site. There's loads of other TEFL sites as well. You've got Facebook. There's loads of like ESL and TEFL groups on Facebook. Also like Gumtree, places like that, people looking for work, and Google as well. Just there's so many places online to get work. So yeah, I'll definitely have a look online. Will this webinar be available to view after because I've missed most of it? Yes, Sharon, it is available straight after. As soon as it finishes, it'll be available online, and I'm sure the itoI team will be sharing it on social media as well. So yeah, definitely available online. As I say, if anybody's missed anything, if you can't make it or you've got to dash off before the end, don't worry, it'll be available online straight away as soon as we finish. So yeah, don't worry, you won't miss out on anything. And as I said at the beginning, if there's anything that's not covered or anything you're missing, or any information, just check out itoi's Facebook page, itoi's website, and also you can check out my Instagram and my website. So my Instagram is catherines.esl.online and my website is catherinekilvane.co.uk. So yeah, plenty of resources, and if you need anything, just contact the itoI team or drop me a message, that's fine. Okay, so I also have my own website as well, which I get some students through as well. So that's a bit harder to market yourself, especially when I'm sort of new to online marketing, digital marketing, and like the TEFL, because there's a lot of TEFL teachers out there. But it's really great to have your own sort of website and brand that you can put out there to people. So that's really exciting. So yeah, so everybody have a look at my website. But on there, so I do a lot of blogging, so that's a good way to get your name out there, and do a lot of social media. So on my teacher Instagram, I'm posting different language problems each week, and every day posting, an example of each. So, just keeping traffic. I don't want to be overloading people with sort of Instagram and, bombarding their feeds and things, but you want to be sort of present. So try and post regularly on Instagram. And yeah, I've started doing weekly blogs. So if you want to check out my blog on my website, I've got a few on there now that are building up. And that's a great way to sort of share your experience, and people can get to know you, what you're about. And then that gives you a great, people are going to be like, oh, actually, I like what she's saying. Let's book a lesson with her. And you can, it's just great exposure. And I've also done a guest blog this week with itoI, which I'm super excited about. So that went live earlier this week. So if you check out itoi's Facebook page and I think their website as well, you can check that out on there. And also the link in my Instagram bio. The link on my Instagram. That's got the link to the itoI blog as well. It's also got the link to this webinar. So yeah, so have a read of that and let us know what you think. It's just great. I'm like new to blogging, and I was a bit like daunted at the start, but once you get into it, it's actually really fun, and you're just sort of writing about your own experiences. So I just like blogging is a good way to sort of get yourself out there, and people can learn about you, and then they'll think, oh, actually, yeah, let me book a lesson in with Catherine. She sounds good. So yeah, definitely check it out. Let's have a look. How much can we charge online teaching with a level 5 with 0 experience? So I have like a couple of different rates. So my rates are probably a bit lower because again, like I don't have a lot of experience. So I charge like £10 for half an hour and £15 for 1 hour. But then obviously, some people are charging a lot more than that, but they have a lot of experience. So I don't want to be undercutting people, but also I need to make sure that it's, value, you've got to make sure that you're covering your costs. So, the time it takes for you to prep the lesson. So with my individual students, I'm planning their lessons tailor-made, whereas obviously the companies I work for, the materials are already provided. So there isn't as much prep time, but the lessons that I'm providing for a student, I'm prepping those individually. I always do like a free lesson, sort of a free trial lesson with people, to find out about them. What are their needs? What do they want to know? What do they want to learn? What are their key areas? And then I can plan lessons accordingly. So like I had a couple of students who were from India and they had really good English, but they wanted business English because they have a lot of clients over here, and they wanted to build their confidence in speaking English because they generally didn't use it in India. Sorry, one second, sorry, I'll just finish this and I'll answer your question. 1 second, sorry. I would just I like make lessons for them for the business side. So business, like how to deal with meetings, how to negotiate in meetings, and then it's just sort of giving them the experience to practice talking and making sure that they understand like idioms, slang, things that they're not used to hearing, and when they're learning English. It's just making sure that you're choosing a rate that is, not undercutting yourself, but also not too high, because if you are new, you just need to sort of build yourself up. And then once you've got a reputation, once you've got some students behind you and you're building up, then you can increase your rates. Caroline, sorry, my social media, so my Instagram is catherines.esl.online. And my website is just my name, so it's catherinekilbane.co.uk. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to scroll. Panashago, what were you asking? Sorry, I can't see. There's so many comments, so I'm just struggling trying to read them all. Well, thank you all guys for getting in touch and like getting involved. It's really great. There's so many comments. Support groups for South Africans for online teaching. Yeah, so I think definitely with itoI, have a look on their site. There's loads of support for South Africans. I know they have a lot of South African teachers with them. And also on Facebook as well, there's loads of Facebook groups out there that are really helpful and like supportive. The online community is really great. There's so much support online. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. People are really helpful, share resources, share experience. So yeah, there's loads of support online. So I'd have a look on like the Facebook groups, and also Instagram as well. To be honest, I've met some really amazing people through Instagram, really supporting each other, helping each other out, sharing stories, experience. So the social media there's a lot of helpful things on there. Let's have a look. Can you gain a permanent job, or is online teaching more self-employed? Well, it depends. So with Oxfinity, I'm like freelance with them, so you're not sort of directly employed because they know that you work for other people as well. So generally, you would be probably self-employed, and you're working for other, because then you can work across multiple platforms. I'm self-employed. I've got my own clients, and I'm working, with Palfish and Oxfinity. But then if you go, so I think with online, you are generally self-employed, whereas if you're teaching in-person classes, if you go into a school or anything like that, then you are probably going to be employed by that school directly. So I think online teaching is generally self-employed, and that's like the benefit really. You're getting your own hours, so you can choose when you want to work, when you want to have time off, and it's the world's your oyster. So I think it's great. You don't have to work like the 9 to 5. You can get up early and finish by lunchtime, or you can work all day. You can have a Wednesday off instead, and then work the weekend. You can do whatever you want. So I think it does have a lot of benefits, definitely. Let's have a look. How does teaching online compare? Oh, I saw your question then. When it comes to how does teaching online compare to teaching in a classroom when it comes to salary? I'm not overly sure. I've not taught in a classroom, so I can't sort of really answer that properly. I can only sort of see from jobs that I've applied for, but they've been in different places, so it's hard to compare them both because it's different. When you're teaching online, you're preparing like each lesson individually if it's your own student, whereas obviously in a classroom you're probably teaching like a group of anywhere between like 5 to 30 people. So I can't really answer that, but if you have a look on itoI, I'm sure they've got more information, or drop one of the itoI team some info, and they will definitely be able to help you out. Oh, thank you, Rochelle. Thank you very much. Can you talk about your teaching schedule during the week and timetable with Palfish? Enrico. Okay, so my teaching schedule during the week and timetable with Palfish. So I've been getting a bit busy the last couple of weeks. So Palfish I have open sort of every day, and I get lessons dropping on sort of each day. Generally about lunchtime, to be honest. I get lessons around lunchtime. That's sort of peak time. So with Palfish, you need to have your schedule open. So obviously they're at the minute 7 hours ahead because we're on British summertime. And I'm just trying to think. So yeah, so I have my schedule open 8 a.m. till like 3 p.m. It's actually UK time. And yeah, so you can have any lessons. That's sort of their peak time. So 3 p.m. UK is 10 p.m. in China. And I think when the clocks go back, it'll be 8 hours. So you just have to make sure that keep an eye on that with the time difference. So yeah, so that's the peak times. And then my working week is sort of, well, I'm at the minute I'm Monday to Sunday because I'm still quite new. So I'm trying to build up lessons, build up teaching hours. So at the minute I'm sort of 7 days. But obviously once I get sort of full time and I've got like more lessons and I'm sort of fully booked, then I'll sort of cut down to try and have like 1 or 2 days a week, depending how I get on. With Oxfinity, they're 5 days a week, and anytime from like 8 a.m. UK time, because they're sort of 9 till 7 p.m. maybe you get lessons, but you could get later in the evening with Oxfinity. So it's sort of, I've taught at 8 a.m. up till like 6:30 at night UK time. So it just depends on students' sort of availability when they want. I'm not sure if they put a cap on. I think they'll probably ask if it's much later than sort of 7 p.m. Sort of UK Spain time. And then with Oxfinity, yeah, no weekends, but unless a student wants to book something in specifically, that'll be arranged separately. But generally lessons are Monday to Friday. So yeah, at the minute I'm sort of 7 days, and yeah, it's great because I'm just trying to build up my sort of my reputation, get my teaching hours up, get my experience up. So I'm just like, give me all the lessons. Okay, so I'll do a couple more lessons and then we'll just move on before we finish. Can you do a day in the life of being an online teacher? It would be so interesting to see life an eye to eye qualified teacher. Yes, it's Shanae. Yes, well, I think I'm going to be doing that with itoiTEFL, so that'll be over on Instagram, I think. It's not been booked in yet, but yeah, so definitely watch this space. There'll be more information. That would be really good. So excited to do that. What online companies as a Caribbean teacher with no experience who can apply? Joe, I'm not sure. So if you check out itoiTEFL or ask the itoiTEFL team, they'll definitely be able to help out. If you check out their website or drop them an email, they'll definitely be able to help you out with more information. Fred. Hi, Fred. Is level 5 course more likely to land you an online job than level 3? Possibly, yeah, because it is a higher level. I think a lot of companies, they just sort of want the TEFL certificate. So, but it gives you more experience. Definitely level 5. I would recommend from someone with no teaching experience. It definitely gives you like full like breakdown over how to set up a lesson. Everything you need to do. How things can go wrong, how to make sure they don't. It covers all bases. Teaching online, teaching children, teaching adults, teaching different groups. How to make sure that you've got backup in case, if you're teaching something and everyone's like, oh, I hate this, you've got a backup plan in place as well, so you can teach something else. So I think level 5 definitely helps, and the companies will appreciate, level 5. It is, like I say, I think it's CELTA/diploma equivalent, so it is a good level to get. Do you use an online booking tool, Joe? What tools do you use to organise your time with, if any? I don't actually use an online booking tool at the moment. No, Oxfinity have their own online booking tool, so that's just booked in, and then Palfish has their own. So I just have to make sure at the minute that I'm not getting any double bookings anywhere. So if I get a lesson on one platform, then I make sure to close off my booking slots on the other. Like Palfish, it's really easy to open and close slots. In Oxfinity, you can just let the company know. You just drop them an email to say, actually, I can't work then. So can you just make sure nothing gets booked? So both at the minute are really easy, but I might look into that actually, because I've not thought about that, but probably something to look into. What camera do you use, your cell phone or your camera? Is that Susan was asking? Let me just have a scroll up. Susan, what camera do you use, your cell phone or an external camera? So at the minute I'm on my laptop, but for Palfish I use my phone because it's all on an app, so it's not on a laptop. So Palfish is all on an app, so you can use your phone or your iPad or tablet, whichever. So I use my phone for Palfish, but Oxfinity I use my laptop because there's a lot more sort of less material going on. You possibly could use your phone with Oxfinity, but I think it'd be quite hard work because trying to see the lesson content and how the layout works through them. So using the laptop. So I work in another room for Oxfinity that's just got more of a sort of plain background, and then this is my Palfish setup with all the kid-friendly backgrounds and stuff. And I have like props and rewards and toys and things. So yeah. Do you have a ring light? No, although a few people have said about that, so maybe I will invest. I'll have to see. Let's have a look. Where was that question gone? Do online teaching companies take a certain percentage of your earnings? Yes, most do, unfortunately. So it's just trying to find the one that's the best for you, to be honest. I think Palfish doesn't actually take a cut, but I think because you're getting paid from China to here, there's a bit of you sort of lose a bit because of I think fees, exchange rate, etc. So that's the only thing. But they don't actually take a cut. You just sort of lose a bit because of their fees. Oxfinity, yeah, they take a cut, but you will find a lot of online companies do take a cut. So you're just trying to make sure that you find the one that's best for you and that fits your like how you're working. And then obviously if you can build up your own personal website and your own student base, then you don't have to worry about that. So at the minute it's great because I'm just trying to build up my reputation, build up my experience, and sort of build up my own website on the side as well. So if I can get more students through my website, then obviously I can reduce my hours elsewhere, and then I'm not getting fees cut as much. So yeah, but I think a lot of companies do, but it's just trying to find the one that suits best for you. Okay, so we'll just jump on to next one before answering any final questions. So yes. Okay. So yeah, so finally, sort of future plans for me. Well, yeah, I would like to still sort of work on go abroad and teach abroad. I think that would be really amazing. It'd be great to get some classroom experience, but I think at the minute it's just really hard. Like I have sort of applied to a few places, but I think just the risks with travel at the moment, it's just not viable, unfortunately. So I've sort of spoke to a few people sort of in Poland, and I had applied somewhere in Spain that would have been great, but it sort of it's either not come through or there's been travel sort of restrictions. So at the moment, sort of sticking to online. I'm going to do online probably, till next year. Then hopefully I'll build up, and then if I can get some teaching in class experience next year, that would be great. Because I would really like to get some in class experience, and obviously that helps with your teaching online because I've gone from sort of classroom straight to online, whereas really I would have liked to have the in class experience as well. But COVID had other plans, so never mind. So yeah, so just build up my experience online, and then hopefully I can get some teaching in class next year when it's safe to travel. And as well, if you build up your online teaching, whether it's with a platform or through your own clients, you can then teach wherever you like. So you can still, like, one of the places I looked at, it's like, well, I could teach at a school in the day and then have my own clients still in the evening. So there's plenty of ways to work it around and make it work best for you. Like you could still work evenings and weekends, even if you're teaching at school in the day. Because if you finish at the school at 4, you could do a couple of hours each night just to top up. And then you've got your weekend as well if you want. So, there's plenty of options to work online, and it's a really good base. So hopefully I can get some in-class experience next year. So we'll sort of see what next year brings, and hope 2021's sort of a better year. And yeah, so let's have a look at some more questions before we finish. Let's have a look. Online rewards for your students. An example, please, Millie. So with Palfish, so I use a lot of like stars. I have some stars that I have that just the way at the moment because I'm at a class today with Palfish. So, but I have like stars, and then I have toys. They have like this. If you see the big smiley face, so that's like my rewards thing. So they get rewards anyway within the app. So you can give them 5 stars in the app, and then I have another 5 stars that they get extra, so they can actually get 10 stars, which some of the students really like. When you tell them they've got 10 stars, they're really pleased about that. I say using like toys and things like that, they just get, that keeps them engaged, gets them excited, and you can just be a bit silly, which sometimes gets the kids to open up a bit more, which is great. What sort of gadgets would you need? Example, webcam, etc. Lauren. Okay, well, I don't actually have any gadgets. I'm pretty low key, but I am probably still quite new. So I just have my laptop, I have my earphones, and I have my phone. So, but maybe I will look into getting a light. It's just trying to work out sort of the best sort of function. So with Palfish, obviously I'm on my phone, so I don't really have, and I'm in a flat as well, so I don't have like window ledges and things. So it's just trying to make sort of best of the space. And yeah, so I've got a bit of a spotlight on here at the side, which isn't blinding me, luckily. But yeah, so I've got a bit of lighting at the side, and yeah, I don't really have many gadgets, but if anyone wants to recommend any, feel free to let me know. Do schools pay into your PayPal, David? Well, I don't deal with any schools directly, but PayPal pays straight in. Palfish pays straight into my bank, and Oxfinity pays straight into my bank. But my private lessons, so yeah, I do them through PayPal. But I have actually put a new function on my website that you can pay direct through my website. So that again will just go straight to my account. But most places, most people, if you're sort of teaching one to one, they will do you can pay by PayPal. It just makes it a lot easier. But what I did notice with the guys who was teaching in India, they actually PayPal's banned over there, so they had to get someone they knew. It was all a bit of a faff, but yeah, so to pay directly into my account. So it's just making sure, checking the options for payment and seeing where your students are. Can they use PayPal? Because I didn't realize not everyone could use PayPal. So it's just making sure that you're covering your needs of the students and you've got everything covered, is what I would say. Let's have a look. Just do one or two more questions. And low-key, I dig that. Yeah, simplicity is in your elegance. Well, I hope so. So I hope the lighting is okay in here, and everything. But yeah, as I say, I sort of use this room and I use another room. So I have two sort of teaching offices that I use, just sort of depending. But yeah, this is my Palfish background, which the kids really like. Oh, and thank you for love my website. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I think we'll wrap it up now, guys. If anybody's got any last minute questions, let me know. But I want to say thank you all for joining, and thanks for itoI for letting me do this webinar. It's been an amazing experience. I was a bit nervous at the start, so I hope that wasn't too bad, but I feel like we've got into it now. Could probably rub it on for another hour, but I think everybody's probably doesn't want that. So yeah, thank you very much for joining, and definitely, if you want to join TEFL, the TEFL world, definitely get involved. It's really easy. itoI are great. They're really supportive. The online platform is great for the course. There's so much information on there, and there's so many opportunities online. There's, as I said, love TEFL jobs. Is like sister say, is great. You can filter it by if you've got a degree or not, by location. So it gives you loads of options. You've got Google, all the Facebook groups. There's so many Facebook TEFL groups on there. There's loads of information. And also, like you can Google jobs. Also, I advertise. So on my website, I do Google ads. I do Instagram blogging, and I also Google ads, Facebook, like Gumtree and places like that. So advertise stuff on Gumtree, and also like foreign versions of Gumtree. So in Spain, like TUS classes, like English teacher. There's so many platforms where you can advertise yourself. So just get your name out there and just sharing your information, like share your website, share your Instagram. The online community is really supportive as well. There's loads of people that can help. People can help you with design, websites, anything. I've had loads of help, loads of support. The people you meet are really helpful. So yeah, definitely join itoI, and it's a great way to meet new people, make friends, and a great community. So yeah, definitely have a look and check it out. And if you want any more information, check out the itoI website, itoI Facebook page. This webinar will be available straight away as soon as it's finished on Facebook, and I'm sure the itoI team will be sharing it. And also check out my Instagram, so catherines.esl.online, and also my website, catherinekilbane.co.uk. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you. I love all the comments and interaction. It's great. And I'm sorry if I've not answered all the questions. I feel like I sort of talked a lot and trying to do questions, so trying to cover everything. But thank you all very much, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.